Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome if you're new. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and let's get right into today's video. So for today's video, I'm finally gonna be testing out the Makartt Dippies. This video is way long overdue. I had these sitting in my closet for a good while now, and I'm super excited to be testing them out. So yeah, I do have both of the kits, and they are all-in-one starter kits. So here's what the packaging looks like. I do adjust my camera in a little bit so that you can see them a little better, but this is how it looks. And then when I flip it over, it has the instructions on the back. I think the instructions are very easy to follow. Feel free to pause and read if you would like to. Oh yeah, and just in case it wasn't clear, this is a dip powder kit. So going into the unboxing, I went ahead and took everything out. The first thing we get is a 100/180 grit nail file, which is essential for filing. And then we also get this cute little brush here, and this is just to dust away the excess dust. I think the brush is like really cute. It has a little matte handle. And so here's what the bottles look like. We get the 1 through 4, which is base, activator, top, and brush saver. I will always brag about Makartt's packaging because I just think it's always so cute. And so I'm gonna go ahead and take out all of the dip powders to show you. I do give you an up close of what they look like. They all come vacuum sealed, which is so perfect so that your product doesn't spill. I went ahead and took all of those off, and I'm just gonna show you guys what the colors look like. So we get 6 jars of dip powder, and the first color here is called Diamond Dust, which is a really pretty like silver sparkly glitter. The next one we get is a really pretty chocolatey brown, and it's called Dark Roast. I think this one was one of my favorite colors. It just looks like chocolate. Like, it's just so pretty to me. And then the third color we have here is called All Business, which is like a really pretty gray. One thing I don't like about dip powder kits is that the jars that they come in are so small. Like, y'all know I love my long nails, and like it's really hard to like dip your nails in these jars with longer nails. So yeah, I would appreciate if they just started putting them in bigger jars. Of course you would have to get more product, and of course the kits maybe cost more, but I don't know, like I just like the bigger jars. I know Kiara Sky has like the 2-ounce jars, and it's just perfect for like dipping your nails in them, especially if you want like medium to longer nails. And yeah, so I'm just going through all of the colors, and the last color I'm going to show is called Bikini, and it is a really pretty pink. So here's all of the colors. I do love all of these colors, but I do feel like my favorite was definitely that chocolatey brown, and maybe one of the like peachy pinks at the end. So now that you guys have seen the colors, I wanted to give you a closer look of the dip liquids. And so I'm gonna open all of them and show you guys the consistency of it. And then also I just was curious to see what these smell like. So I did smell each one. The first one, it kind of smells like regular. It just smells like regular chemically type polish. And then this activator, it kind of has the consistency of like dehydrator. And it has the smell of like regular nail polish, which is a little bit strong to me. And then we have number 3, which is the dip top. I kind of had a malfunction with the top, but eventually I did get it off right. But this is just like the top coat, and you don't need a UV LED light for it. But this one, to me, it kind of smells more of like what the usual dip base would smell like. I don't know, like all of the other kits that I've had and tried, the dip base, this is what it smells like. And then we have number 4, which is the brush saver, and this one, it's kind of hard to explain. It kind of smells like sweet chemicals to me. Honestly, I was kind of surprised that they didn't smell like that strong, which is very good because I know sometimes like these dip powder liquids are like very strong, and sometimes they burn my eyes a little bit. I think the strongest one was definitely the activator, which smells like nail polish. And then the one that smelled the best to me, or like had the least amount of odor, was the brush saver, which smells like these sweet chemicals. So I'm just gonna go ahead and swatch all of them. I am swatching them under the inside of these short swatch sticks I got from Shein, and I'm just gonna let you guys enjoy the swatches. So here's all of these swatches after doing 2 coats and then putting on a gel top coat. One thing I noticed about swatching dip powders is that once you swatch them or they come in contact with anything like wet or like the activator, they tend to get a little bit darker, especially this brown. Like in the jar it looks like milk chocolate, but on the swatch it looks like a really deep chocolate brown. I do love both of the colors, but I do wish it stayed the color of the powder inside the jar. And then we have these last 2 colors. I think these are like so pretty. These was also one of my favorites. Then also I forgot to show you guys these separate ones I did purchase. It comes in bigger 1-ounce jars and it comes in the colors Sweet and Sparkling and Diamond Dust. So the Sweet and Sparkling you have seen on my channel. This was included in, I believe, one of the Your Nail Lab boxes. It was the one where you got a mystery item, and that was my mystery item. And then this Diamond Dust is the first one that I show in this kit. So since this is a bigger jar, I actually might just use this one. If I was to use it, I may just use this one, and then when I get low, just pour the one in the smaller jar into the bigger jar. I know it's kind of backwards, but since I do love longer nails, it's easier to just dip into the bigger one. So I went ahead and applied my nails off camera, and of course I had to go short. To some of you guys this may be a medium, but to me this is short. So I went ahead and applied my nails. I could have just used some full cover nail tips, but I wanted to test myself out. And honestly, I was just like really in the mood to do dip powder nails. And also I've been watching Casey Nails do dip powder, and she just inspired me to try this method. So I just tried to apply everything I see her do in her videos, and it did go by very quick, which I love. I'm not really that big into dip powder as I am polygel and acrylic, but it was fun to do this video. I'm starting off by taking the dip base, which is number 1, and I'm just putting a line down my nail, not over the entire nail. It does look a little bit thick, but this is just what she does. She kind of starts like in the middle of her nail bed area and then work her way down to the entire tip, and then she dips her nail into the jar and then tap away the excess. That's gonna be my first layer, and doing it this way, since I'm not using the full cover nail tips, this just allows me to build an apex. I decided to go with the brown color and feeling peachy. At first I was gonna go for something typical. I was just gonna use like the pink color on all of the nails, but I decided to do something I usually wouldn't do, and since I really did love that brown color a lot, I went ahead and did that. I did have a little design in mind. I wasn't sure how it was gonna turn out, but I was willing to test it, and I did in today's video. I will get more into that once I finish applying the dip powders, but for now we're gonna focus on this part. So I'm just doing that for all of the nails, and once I do my first layer, I do allow this to dry for at least 1 minute and 30 seconds, and then I'll go in with the next layer. And once again, if you are unsure on the directions are on the back of the Makartt box. If you are interested in these dip powders, I do have a 15% off discount code that you can use to purchase these, and you can purchase these separate jars. I think they do have like more colors. So yeah, this is my first layer, and I'm just gonna allow this to sit for 1 minute and 30 seconds like I said. Now I'm just gonna take the brush that was provided in the kit and just brush away the excess dust, and then start to go in with my next layer. So for my next layer, I do go like a little bit above where I started my first line to, and then I also cover up the entire tip. Even though it looks easy, like I was still like unsure on what to do. It was kind of hard making these layers even. I don't know if I wasn't putting like an even layer of the base gel, but it was still kind of like challenging to me just because I'm not really that experienced with dip powder, and it's not really my favorite thing to do, but I am like willing to practice so that I can get that application down. And if you do want to see like good dip powder videos, I would 100% recommend you watching Kate's videos. I will leave her channel down below. Like, she's able to get these flawless and smooth dip applications. Like, I don't know how she does it, but she makes everything go out so smooth, and she makes it look super easy. So if you do want to check out her videos, like I said, I will leave a link down in the description box. But I'm just gonna go ahead and do my second layer. I do love how smooth it was going by and how fast I was doing this. Usually I would do like 1 nail at a time, and that would just take so long, but doing it this way allows the first few nails to dry while you do the other nails. So this is my second layer completely done. I do allow it to dry for another minute and 30 seconds. And now I'm just going to go in with the third layer, which I'm going to be covering the entire nail now. And I did have to speed it up, and also I couldn't really dip my nails into the jar still because they were still a little bit too long. So to get the cuticle area, I do have to pour it on. So I did use a cuticle pusher, and I just covered the entire nail with it. In this part, I was kind of making a mess because it was just spilling everywhere when I tried to do the cuticle area. When I make a mess with my dip powder, I do know a lot of people suggest that I use a cupcake liner. Unfortunately, I didn't have any, so I just decided to just pour it over the jars. Since we are halfway into the video, I do want to go ahead and do my featured comments. So here are today's featured comments. Thank you guys for watching and commenting on my last video. By the way, it's doing really good. I do appreciate you guys watching the video and coming to support me. If you want to be one of my featured comments, all you have to do is be one of the first few people, or just comment on this video and maybe you'll have a chance to be featured in my next video. Oh yeah, and also I do have my $50 monthly giveaway winner already posted on my community tab. If they don't respond in 2 or 3 more days, I will have to pick a new winner. So if you haven't seen that announcement, make sure to go look and see if you are the person that won. And while you finish watching the rest of this third layer play out, if you haven't liked the video this far, go ahead and hit that like button, and also subscribe if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet. I do know most of my viewers are not subscribed, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. I'm not really that close to 50, but once I hit 50,000 subscribers, I am going to be doing a huge giveaway. Doing these dip powders are like so fun. Especially this video. I had a lot of fun doing this video, but here's what my third layer is looking like, and it looks pretty smooth for the most part. I did go ahead and finish doing like 2 or 3 more layers off camera. Once I was done with my layers, I did switch the brushes and my brush saver and my #1 base. I just wanted to clean my brush after my dip application. So I just switched those brushes, and I'm just gonna let that sit for a little bit. And I'm so sorry for this jump scare. Like, these nails look so hideous. Well, no, they don't look that bad. I got them to look pretty smooth, except for my ring finger. It looks bumpy because, like, I don't know what I was doing wrong, but I couldn't really build up the layers how I wanted to. At least the pink color wasn't building how I liked it to. I did do really good with the brown color. Like, I was able to get it a little bit thicker around the apex area, but I don't know what was wrong with that pink color. It just was not building. And you will see in the end, like, these nails are not thick at all. I did go in with like 2 or 3 more layers, but now I'm just adding the activator, and I'm being very generous with this activator so that it really sinks down and just adhere to all of those layers. I did allow it to sit for a good while because I ended up talking with my sister, so yeah, I was kind of sidetracked, but I did let this sit a good amount of time. And now I'm just gonna go in with my file to file the nails and smooth them out. I did leave this in real time so that you can see how I file dip powder nails, and to me it doesn't really take that much to file dip powder nails. It kind of reminds me of like polygel, even though it is a powder. I was trying to be really careful with the filing process because I did apply my UNT Peel Off Base Coat, but to file the nails, I do go in and file the sides. I was kind of going for a coffin shape, but I was just happy with the side walls being straight, so once I got them straight, I didn't file anymore. And then I go over the top of the nails, and I just smooth that out, and then I try to get around the cuticle area with the file as close as I can. And what's funny about this part is that while I was letting the activator sit on my nails, I was going through the comments of my last video, and someone asked me how do I get my nails to not pop off when using my UNT Peel Off Base Coat. And once I stopped the camera to finish filing off camera, look what happened. Like, this nail just popped clean off. But I do love how clean it does pop off. Like, there's no residue, it doesn't hurt. That's why sometimes I do like to use the cuticle oil method, because they don't pop off this easily. But that's why I love using the UNT Peel Off Base Coat. coat because I don't have any problems with popping them off. So I'm just going to reapply it. I let that dry and I applied some top coat, cured it, and finished doing my filing, and this is how the nails look. I think I had worked a miracle on this filing and shaping. I think they look pretty good and I'm really satisfied with how they look. Now it's time to get into the design, which is the part that is scaring me because I don't know how it's gonna turn out. So I got this blue gel polish. Yes, I got some blue gel polish. I'm not crazy, just stick around and see how these nails turn out. So I wanted to try something new because before I started, I did look at my nail charms. I wanted to see what would go good with these colors, and I got this little nail charm I will show in a few seconds. I do have this blue gel polish and I put some on my nail palette, and I'm going to be doing like a low French on the brown nails. I'm just going to fill this in. So I'm just doing a little bit of cleanup to my smile line, and this is what it looks like. So this is the part where I was kind of getting unsure. So I didn't even cure my French tip on my index nail. I just pulled out my bling box and got my charm because I wanted to see if it would actually look right. So this is the little charm I'm talking about. It's so cute. It's a little girl blowing a bubble, and it kind of has like blue on it. The bubble is blue and she has like this pink little bow in her hair. So I felt like I could get these colors to kind of tie in together. Well, I was gonna try to anyway. So I just went ahead and cured that with my flashlight. And to have this blue tied in a little bit more, I did go in with that blue color on my middle finger and do a full coverage over that dip powder color. And honestly, like, I was just like so unsure because the colors wasn't really working how I wanted it to or how I pictured in my mind. So I was really scared of how this set was gonna turn out. And I didn't even notice this part, y'all. Look at the charm. It's literally about to fall off. It did eventually fall off once I was like almost done filling in this blue color. I did go in and clean the side walls. Once it fell, I did reattach it to my nails. And also, once I was finished with this blue color, I think I did go ahead and cure. And I just finished adding my French tips. I went over that index nail with another layer of the blue. I also repeated that same thing to my pinky and my thumbnail. Then also I went over the middle finger with another coat of blue so that I can get it to the opacity of my liking. So here's what the nails are looking like, and it looked nothing like I envisioned, but I'm not gonna foul off the gel polish, so I'm just gonna try to fix it and make it look a little bit more put together. So I did find this 𝚙𝚛𝚘𝚘𝚗𝚘𝚗𝚘𝚗𝚘𝚘 gel liner, and it kind of matches the color I had on my ring finger, but it does look a little bit darker, so I added a little bit of white to it to make it lighter. And to add that color into the set, I do take my liner brush and just outline the Frenches, and then I will also be doing like a little flower type design on the blue nail. I'm gonna just let this part finish playing out, and then I will come back in the end to give you guys my final thoughts and opinions. after adding all of the nail art and outlining the fringes, this is what it looks like. I'm just going to go ahead and add some top coat to the nails. The top coat I'm using is from Awesome Color. It's a really good top coat. I did really like how the top coat looks over the brown. Like, for some reason, I just really love how it looks. But yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and finish adding the top coat. I did apply my cuticle oil off camera, and I'll be back in a few seconds to show you guys what the finished set looks like. And this is what we have. So like I said, this is nothing how I envisioned. That's the downside to this set, but I do think I kind of got the colors to look a little bit more matchy. I don't know what the theme is for these nails, but I do wish it went together a little bit better. But I did have to improvise and add stuff here and add stuff there. I think my favorite nails are the Frenches. It might be kind of odd and I might be the only one, but I do love the blue and brown combination. I just kind of wish the brown was a little bit lighter, but like on the swatches, it does get a little bit darker after applying the activator and the base. So yeah, this is definitely not my favorite set. Like, I don't even know what to rate these. I kind of want to rate these like a 5. I don't think these are post worthy. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you like it or not, tell me what you think I could have done to like improve the set. Then also, as I was putting up the stuff, I did realize like it was this little plastic pouch in the side of the container, which contains 2 little extra brushes just in case you mess your other ones up. It does come with replacement brushes. So yeah, I did use this kit in today's video. Let me know if you would like to see me using the other kit, which has some lighter colors, so it may come out a little bit better. And once again, if you are interested in these, you can buy these from the Makartt website using my discount code. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and as always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.